How much time would you say you lose every week just from not being as productive as you could be? Hey there, I'm Danielle. Welcome to the Genius Community, a channel where I help bloggers and entrepreneurs like you fight the overwhelm. When you blog, you have to do it all, from making posts to growing your email list and even managing social media. Being productive as a blogger is the best way to do more with what little time you have. After all, wearing all the hats means you have to make time to do it all. So let me show you a perfect tool to help you do all the jobs and more. If you've heard of or used Trello, then you'll be somewhat familiar with how ClickUp works. And ClickUp, while familiar with Trello, it does a little bit more. The best comparable that I can give is that ClickUp is like Trello on steroids. That's the best way to explain it. ClickUp allows for great compartmentalization of things, and this makes it really easy to organize things but still see everything that needs to be done. But before I can show you how to use this for productivity, I need to walk you through what you're looking at first. It all starts with spaces. And again, if you're familiar with Trello, this is similar to a board in Trello. A space is something that you'll use for a category. So you could have a space for blog posts. You could have another space for social media as well. And you could even have another one for course creations. And then moving down from there, the next thing is folders. A space can hold folders, and a folder holds a list of tasks for you to work on. So think of a folder as a way to group your lists. So if your space is about creating a course, then your folder could be on each module of the course. Now, lists. These are just what they sound like. A place for you to put down and list all of your tasks that need to be completed. And a list can have a list of subtasks, so things that are smaller steps that go towards completion of this one big task. So you can add a space by clicking on the plus, and you create a new space. Let's give it a name. And hit next. You can pick an icon as well as a color, and then you'll hit next. So on certain plans of ClickUp has paid and free features. It's free to start, but there are some additional features that you can get if you pay. One of those additional features is to make a space private so no one can see it. And the option of just the standard. So we'll go with the standard. We'll hit next. Now, when you set up a ClickUp space on its own, it will have you select statuses that you want. So the default it's got here is to do and complete. But you can add a status, give it a name, and even assign it a color. Over on the left are some template statuses for you to work through. You can do a custom one, or they provide you with some ideas for things that you can start from or use. And to save a template, you can also click New Template. So we'll hit Next. And when you set up a new workspace, it's going to let you pick some additional features. So the custom fields we definitely want, and I'll tell you about those in a little bit. Priority is great if you want the ability to select a level of importance. You can add time tracking. So let's click Next. So when you first set up a workspace, it'll have you pick your default views. These are the ones that you always want to be shown no matter what. And you can pick from an option, and they are always adding new things to ClickUp all the time, every week. So then we'll click Review Space. So it's going to take us through our entire list of selections that we've picked. And if we're happy with it, we can create. And if not, we can click on one to go back and edit that one. Now, there are a ton of features in ClickUp, and I'm only going to be sharing with you the few that I use the most. I'm not going to overwhelm you with things that may or may not be relevant that could be learned later on. So, views. You can view anything in ClickUp in a bunch of different ways, from the list view to a board, a calendar, and more. There's also even a space to view all of your tasks amongst all of your spaces. So one place to view everything, no matter what space it's in. Now, every list can have a status. Think of a status as the current state of the project. And since these statuses are custom to each list, you can make each and every list unique with their statuses. So the final status always marks that task as completed. But every status before that could be a stage in your process. Labels are just what they sound like. You can add a colored label to any list that you like. So you'll name the column that it relates to, what that colored label is about. So maybe this list of labels is your blog post categories. So any kind of label that you could use, you can customize. And the cool thing is that you can put more than one set of labels to an individual list. Start date and due date. So not only can you add a due date to each task, but you can also give a start date. And this makes it incredibly easy to work on tasks in advance when you need to work on them. Simply set the start date to enough time to allow you to get the task done before the due date. Recurring tasks. You can also set recurring tasks to start. You can also set tasks to recur based on a set rule. So like daily or weekly, for example. And this is a great way to save some precious time from having to put them in every week on your own and remember them. So these next three kind of go hand in hand together. Assignments, me mode, and messaging. So if and when you reach a point that you have more than just yourself tackling the entire workload, this is perfect for you. You can set an individual task to an individual person or user. Me mode is the way to look at all of the tasks that are only assigned to you. And the messaging allows you to communicate with other users right there in ClickUp. Default views. So each individual list or folder or space can have their own default view. So change it to me mode, set it to show you all the completed tasks, or even change it to a different view, and then make this the default. Now you'll be able to see this view every time you go to it without having to change the settings every time. You can set some things like a sublist or checklist to a template, or even a status, and this makes it easier to use later very quickly without having to set it up again. Embedding videos and files. Cool part here is that you can add a link to a YouTube video right into the description of a task and play it right from that description box. No more having to open a separate tab to look at it. The paid version does allow you to attach files from Google Drive or Dropbox or even your computer that you upload. Now, descriptions are taken to a whole nother level here. You can format them, like bold or italicize, or even add dividers. Now, the way to find out all of your options, click on a task and in the description box, type a / and it will easily show you the list of options that you can do in that description box. Desktop and mobile apps. So I have both of these on my desktop and my cell phone. So the cell phone app makes it really easy for me to add a task right there when I'm on the go and I have an idea, or maybe I'm sitting down and remember something I need to complete. I can easily add it without having to get up or go online. It's right there on my phone. The desktop app makes it really nice because I can have a separate window separate from another internet browser tab open, and I can have it separated from the other tasks. So I can put this in a separate window and see it easily. Moving tasks. So you can also move tasks between lists or spaces as well. Just click and drag it over to the new space or list you want it to go in. From there, you'll change the status if it has a different list of statuses, and it's done. So I know that ClickUp has a ton of features and that it can be overwhelming just sitting down trying to look at this and figure out where everything is. And I've only given you the list of things I use most, as they are the most helpful and pertinent right away when you're just getting started learning this new program. But it isn't everything to just understand and know the features. ClickUp allows you to use it in a way that is flexible. So the addition of folders makes it easy to really get in and organize it. So you can make one space for blog things and a space for personal, and then divide up your folders by the type of task and further compartmentalize down from there. So this guy is really the limit here, but it's all down to how you want to use it. But keeping everything in one place and being organized is the best way to be productive. So my best tip here is to take it slow. If you're using another system or even multiple, move things over slowly. Get yourself set up in a way that works for you. Because when it works for you and you're organized, ultimately that helps you be more productive in the end. And ClickUp really offers that incredible way to do everything it needs you to do and even more than you ask. So you have the option to really the sky's the limit. So now that you've seen some of the elements of ClickUp and how they look, let me take you through a little tour of the actual workspace and maneuvering around it. So when you're in ClickUp, it will show you all of your spaces right over here, and you can add one just by clicking the plus. When you get there, you'll see a plus sign up at the top, and this is the way to add a folder or a list. Now, if you look closely, you'll see 3 dots in a whole bunch of places. And these are settings for a whole bunch of different things. So for your tasks, your lists, your views, go ahead and click on those, and you'll see a whole bunch of options to look through. To add a new task, all you have to do is click New Task, and you can go ahead and type right in. So if you want to set a default view, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So say you want to set it to me mode. You can do that by clicking on me right here, and it will only show what's been shown to you. Now I'm going to turn that off because I don't have these assigned to anybody, but I can click on the list and click default to me mode. So if I have it set to default to me mode, it's going to show me all the tasks by default every time I click on this view. So whenever I click on this folder, it will show me this view in me mode every time. And to turn it off, you just turn that off. Now in the settings down here, you can find a whole bunch of things. So you can find integrations with Slack and Google Drive. There's even an option for you to import a Trello board. So you can take your board itself and import it to Trello, and they'll turn it into a ClickUp space for you. If you're ever curious if you can set something to a template, you can click on these dots and it will show you from template or save as template. Now, these columns here can change. So we'll click on the plus and we can add a label, give the field a name and options. You can add a start date column, and then you can also rearrange these. Say you work alone and you don't want to see the assignee column because you're the one who does it all. So simply by right-clicking on the column and clicking hide, it disappears. So I wanted to show you the description field. So if you click in here and enter a slash, it's going to give you a list of all of the options that you can use. Set different backgrounds, embed things, use code. My favorite by far is the divider. And to embed a video, you just paste in your video URL and you can watch it right from there. And down below, it'll let you attach either by upload or on the paid version, a file from Google Drive or Dropbox. So if you want to set a task to a recurring task, click on the due date for it, give it a due date, and then click on Set Recurring. So you can pick weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever your pick. If you set this daily, of course it'll do it daily. Weekly, it will set it for every Friday, every Saturday, whichever day you pick. Monthly, it will pick that numerical day. So if you set it for the 24th, it will do it on the 24th of every month. Don't forget to subscribe down below for new videos every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.